Hey everyone, and thanks so much for checking out this video. Before we jump into the patch notes and my thoughts, I really just want to ask you a quick question about the thumbnail. I've decided to kind of move my face onto the thumbnail going forward, but I'd like to know your thoughts. So this is just more of an experiment to see if you feel like it adds overall to the quality of the thumbnail or not. Any and all opinions are absolutely welcome, and I'm looking forward to reading through those. But now, without further ado, let's jump into the patch notes, get you guys the details, and honestly, to start off, this is a little bit of a disappointment, namely because we still do not have the group finder as a part of this patch. If that's actually what you clicked on this video to find out, I'm sorry to deliver bad news for you. I understand if you're going to bounce out from here. If you do feel like the video earns it, and liking it on your way out would be hugely helpful. And hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name's Brian if you're new around here, but if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, you sexy beast. That's what you get for subscribing, by the way. Free compliments at the start of these videos. Now, this video is going to go over patch 1.6.3. The downtime is scheduled for 11 p.m. Pacific time on August 16th. So if you're like me in the Texas Central time zone area, Central is actually a better word. We might use that going forward. That's going to be at 1 a.m. So in this sometime tomorrow morning, over the course of your sleep, hopefully you're going to wake up and you're going to get some updates. There are actually some really good pieces to the updates itself, but let's just go through the full notes and I'll give you my thoughts as we move along. For combat and AI, they fixed an issue that caused weapon projectiles to disappear when either attacking a target that was close in proximity or hitting certain types of ground. For the economy and progression section, they fixed an issue that caused Surgeon's Ring, Keepsake of the Divines, Isabella's Amulet, Forgotten Vow, and Faithful Earring to not allow players to replace gems. Gem swapping is now permissible for these items. They also fixed an issue that caused the Deep Earring to use the incorrect perk. New versions of this item should now have the Refreshing Toast perk as intended. And if you guys don't know Refreshing Toast, that's essentially reducing your potion cooldown, so you can use your potions more often. For housing, and this is kind of a weird bullet point and then another indent, so maybe they missed a note here. Keep it locked to the Discord if there's bigger housing changes. They fixed an issue that caused the Gypsum cast to ignore newer expertise bump values. These items will now grant higher expertise ratings bumps per use. And I don't know if you guys have felt that. I myself kind of did feel it, but overall I've been just totaling my total number of expertise level bumps per day, and I'm just trying to see if it's comparison. It feels like it's higher, so I didn't know if it was working as intended, and I was actually looking at trying to talk about that like in its own video. So after the case, it's going to be something interesting to see how I've been tracking it versus how it feels tomorrow. So now I have myself debating, do I sit on my gypsum casts today, or do I open them and then do it all again tomorrow? Probably going to double up just so I can actually have more days, but as long as I have the cast, then honestly I should just sit on it, right? Let me know what you guys think. I haven't actually jumped in today. I've been preparing for something hopefully big, but then maybe I'll be able to share information on that here in the coming weeks. Anyway, for world experience, musical instruments, they fixed an issue that caused players to get stuck if they teleported or if the server crashed during a musical performance. They reduced the XP curve for the musical instrument trade skill, lowering the total time it takes to level up. Also, this is going to be great this weekend as you have the double XP weekend coming up. The tipping performers now uses the secondary interaction hotkey, default T, rather than the primary interaction hotkey, default E, standardizing the key used for performances. I think that's actually very helpful. It was a little bit confusing overall. And then Summer Medley Fair fixed an issue that caused sound effects to not play when dispersing modeling swarms. They fixed an issue that caused the town projects not to register as complete. This has been something plaguing many towns, especially because it seemed to happen after world restart, basically preventing the server town bestowments from upgrading to the next tier. So that is a bug. Hopefully that is completely gone and no more, because at least on my server we've all been upgraded, but several people have been stuck. It's unfortunate it's taken this long to see it kind of resolved. Personally speaking, I would have loved to see some kind of note about some kind of like, hey, and because of these issues, we're rolling out, extra bestowment packages automatically to players. It wouldn't have to be overall too much, but it's still a little bit of a bummer depending on your server if you ended up having to do a little bit more extra grinding overall. But they also fixed an issue that caused the Medley Fair windsocked furniture item to not actually display said windsock. All right, and then additional server client performance optimizations. As a programmer myself, I absolutely love this note. I think it's always very humorous because it could constitute a lot of things, but hopefully we'll see better performance with the client and with the server itself. I've actually felt like the game's been performing much better since the last update itself, but you know, that's not going to be always my experience. I run, you know, we all run on different hardware, right? So hopefully this is going to be a positive change overall, but it is a vague one. It's vague because I think it's probably very detailed and very nerdy. Anyway, but we'll go from there. For the expeditions, Barnacles and Black Power, they fixed an issue that caused the invincibility bug with Niren's Rend debuff. Now that it has been fixed, the debuff will also be re-enabled. The light armor rewards from this expedition should now always drop in the intended gear range of 500 to 600. And that, with that, is the patch notes for patch 1.6.3. I'll keep you guys up to date here on the channel with anything that evolves with New World. I've got a couple of things I want to work on, especially as we get ready to do the next player progress, you know, and population report. If you guys haven't seen, I know I was tweeting this out the other day, talking about like the base has actually been holding in terms of the player numbers. The hours played have gone up over the previous month, and I'd like to give it another week to kind of really see. It is unfortunate here that we do not have the group finder. I think that's going to be a really nice feature. And ultimately at this point, if it didn't make this week, we're going to go into next week, and it almost is like a month delay, and you just start to wonder if that just gets rolled into the next major update that we're looking at in September. Hopefully not. I know it's on the PTR, so we'll have to keep you guys up to date how that evolves. I think that's going to be a really nice quality of life feature. Like I said, I think we've seen a lot more expeditions being run, a lot more enjoyment of the game overall because of that. And I think those changes alone have been a huge help. And if it could be paired with something like this, I think that's going to continually increase the overall quality of life the game has to offer. Anyway, I'm happy to see the numbers really continue to grow. And in terms of that, it's not just like rapid growth, right? We haven't hit the high of the weekend, the first weekend of the patch, but we've actually held on to more people time and time again. And I think that's actually a really good sign of health. But again, I'm really rooting for this game. I think it's got a lot of potential, and I can't wait to see how it evolves. Thank you guys for this random kind of discussion-ish at the end of the news post itself. Feel free to sound off in the comments below with anything that you feel that it needs to be discussed, that I missed, or that you have questions about. You can always check us out on Discord or join us over on Twitch on Friday nights is when I usually stream New World. It's been a great time hanging out with each and every one of you, and I thank you guys for the support. If you guys didn't see, we raised over $2,300 for St. Jude's as a part of the New World Fishing Tournament, caught over 2,500 fish. Surreal, guys. You are truly the best. Anyway, I'll cut it here and stop rambling. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you have a wonderful week. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video, but until then, take care.
Yeah. It's time to chill out on the couch and read some comments. That's right. You know me when it comes to Destiny. I'm off with the clan, and I'm glad you're feeling better. Oh.